How's it going, guys? My name's Voss, and we got some new issues on this thing. So, for starters, we had to change the rear sprocket from a 11 tooth to a 9 tooth, right where the CVT comes down to. That's Jason, by the way, and he's working on getting that all fitted up. But in doing so, we added some new problems because now this thing goes about 6 miles an hour and tops out. Another thing we've been forgetting to do that we really need to get to do pretty soon is getting these panels on, because it kind of needs to be a little safer when you're getting in and out. And once we put the panels in, we need to seal it with the same stuff we put up here to keep people's hands from getting cut. And then on top of that, we really need to work on getting the bottom of this riveted so it doesn't make as much noise when the motor's fired up. But RJ over here, he's gonna get working on putting this back together and get down on here on this cardboard and get to drilling some holes. So a couple other changes we had to make is our rack and pinion was just a little too tall. It was a little too long, my bad. And we had to change from the ball joints that we were using previously to this new attachment piece. And where's this again? Go ahead and clevis. Yeah, the clevis pin. And so this Heim joint comes out to this clevis pin, and it goes into this tie rod right here. And the old rack and pinion was just a little too long and was causing some problems. And I guess I wasn't here for it, but he had a little attack and nearly broke a bunch of things because he was so frustrated. So we got this now. But another thing we might run into that we need to look into is this kind of hits, and right here it rubs against the front A-arm, the top A-arm, and that might be a problem. As of right now, it seemed okay because we've only got it to 6 miles an hour, but we're still working on getting that back and torquey. So while Jason's working on getting the CVT all fixed up and getting the tension just right, RJ is going to be working on getting this bottom panel in. It's technically my job, but I'm being lazy, so I'm letting him do it. But what are you about to do? What's going on?
We're just going to put the cutter wheel on the grinder and then just cut out some spaces for the mounts so the bottom plate fits up on the tube better.
It's because it's hitting the
hitting the mounts for the
mounting tabs or whatever.
Mounts.
I got A-arms or
yeah.
All right. Alright, so I got Jason here. He's going to explain a little better on what's just been going down. We've been doing a little bit of work off camera. I don't know if it's kind of noisy right now because RJ's using the cutoff wheel, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's junk. That's about all I have to say about it.
So I'm about to go for another test drive. We're going to see how this is. We just changed to a 9.2 sprocket, and hopefully it's a little torqueier and actually gets up to speed. So let's do it. Another problem, it's not really going anywhere. It's barely moving for the time being, so we'll see what happens. So I don't know if you heard that, but that was the belt squealing, so it might still be a little tight. But from my impressions of the new 9-tooth sprocket, I'm noticing that it takes off, and once it grabs, it just kind of hits a speed and just stays there. So it's going about probably 10-12 miles an hour, but it accelerates really fast once it grabs, and then it just stops. So we got to figure out what's going on with that. So we got RJ right now. He's working on getting this bottom diamond plate panel riveted to the frame, and he lost his jacks, so now he's basically underneath with these clamps right in his face. How you liking that?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. It's your favorite? So while RJ's working on getting that rear, or the front diamond plate bottom panel in, Jason's making some adjustments for the rear right now. He's adding some spacers because this belt is a little too tight, and hopefully this will help let the CVT do its job and engage it a little sooner. What do you think?
I think it's a jump.
Alright guys, so we did a little more driving, and the couple things I noticed is we adjusted the washer, so I think he took another washer off where the pillow blocks sit, and the belt for the CVT is a little looser, so it's engaging a little better. But we're gonna let RJ give it a drive here, and let's see what he thinks of it. But so everything's going pretty well, and the last thing left to do is to remove that washer and possibly fix the throttle cable. Hey, what do you think of this throttle cable? So Jason's kind of working on getting the throttle cable. We're having quite a bit of problem with it. It's binding somewhere, causing it from, we can't really press the throttle down. It was $8 on Amazon, I think, which is part of the reason why it's so bad. But as you can see, it's starting to get loose. No, it's not Amazon's fault. It's the throttle cable we bought's fault. But we did a little bit more driving, and we actually added about a 1/2-inch spacer to this pillow block, and that definitely helped with the slack on this belt. But now we've ran into a new problem. So there's about a 30 thousandths offset from the belt to this end piece right here, and what that's doing is it's keeping the belt from engaging quick enough. So as soon as you press down on the throttle, by the time the CVT spools up and it starts to take off, it's responding very slowly. So we're gonna make a shim, try to work on getting that up and rolling, and hopefully that fixes the problem. Another issue we ran into is once we put this member in, it has now become extremely difficult. How difficult, Jason? Obviously very difficult, folks. But once that got put in, it's become very difficult to work with the CVT. You honestly can't take it out now without taking this engine out, and you really don't want to do that every time. We got the little protector mount off. We're getting the shim made. We're making it about 20 thousandths, so that should reduce the 30 thousandths gap in there to about 10 thousandths, and that should really help. He likes to throw things a lot. So here's take like 13, where we try to drive this thing. We added about a 20 thousandths inch spacer, so the bell engages a little quicker. So let's see how this goes. So the problem before was from a stop, but it seems to be going on its own for the most part. Let's see what happens here. Seems to be going pretty well. We've lost a little bit of power here. Did you shut the gas off? They shut the gas off. We put a little gas shut off on here to keep it from basically from being stupid, and we done playing ourselves. Overall, it seems to be working really well. So only one of the brakes work right now. We're gonna try to get over this little bump right here and try to rip it around and see how it goes. Do a little climbing. Seems to be okay. Oh my God. I wasn't recording. I just realized. So we got Jason out there. It's kind of hard to tell. It's getting a little dark here in Ohio, but it's starting to go really well. We added about 20 thousandths inch spacer, so the belt engages just a little quicker. There's only about 10 thousandths of an inch between the belt and the stop. Only problem we ran into now is it's kind of stalling up hills and stuff. But man, it's going really well. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's going really well. What'd you think of that?
It went nice. Watch, he's gonna ramp up here now.
What'd you think? How'd you feel?
I liked it.
How's the power band now? Does it feel a little
good,
more?
But the top end's still not. We have too much top end.
I thought it was okay.
Police are coming back.
right, guys, that's probably gonna wrap up this video. If you like this, you know, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. This thing's coming along really nicely. That spacer, it might just be a little too thick, but it definitely made a big enough difference to where it's a lot more responsive now and a lot better. So we'll see you next video.
Out here in the buggy, yo.
Yeah.
On this week's episode of Hood Baja, RJ rides a reverse pedal bicycle. Get it. Get it. Jason slaves away at the drivetrain while yelling times. And RJ rides a bicycle with what looks like a piece of 2x4 as a seat. I can only imagine this going very poorly.